Before we start this video, I want to share a little secret with you guys. You might stand a chance to win a 5 and a 6. How's it, guys? Without saying anything to you guys, I'm sure you guys know exactly what we're going to talk about. Just if you look behind me, you can clearly see. So I'm really excited to have this discussion with you guys around the new Horizon Championship editions. There's been a lot of hype in the market around these rods, and in all fairness, it deserves it. These rods are really, really amazing, and we're going to jump into some features of the rods, some of the tech behind the rods, and just how I use them and how I pair them up and what you can use them for. Well, I've been fishing these rods for quite some time now. The 7 and the 8 I've been fishing for nearly a year now. I can finally stop telling you guys little lies, because you guys thought I was fishing the normal XH. Even the guys asked me if I'm fishing my HXL, because one of the samples that I had was a blue sample, and every time in the video that I used the blue sample, people thought that I was using the HXL. But I've been working really close with iFish and Assassin on these rods. They've gone through a lot of testing. It's not only myself, there's a couple of guys all over South Africa that has tested them thoroughly, from casting to pulling abilities, and yeah, just everything, putting them through their paces. And guys, I give them a 15 out of 10, not because I had the opportunity to fish them early. This is my honest opinion about these rods. The moment that I picked them up, I could immediately feel the difference between the previous Horizon Zeros and the new rods. First, before we jump into the available models, let's talk a little bit about the features of the rod and the technology behind these rods, and why they are so amazing and why I'm so in love with these rods. First of all, like Assassin always does with the high-end rods, like the Horizon Zero range and the new Championship edition, they are fitted with top quality and superior guides. It's fitted with Fuji K-Series with the SIC inserts. That is by far the best guides to use for braid. If you have a superior blank, why not have superior guides? I spoke about the benefits of the guides in the previous videos with the Horizon Zeros or your normal Zeros, so I'm not going to elaborate too much on the guides. You guys just have to know that it's fitted with the best guides available for rock and surf angling currently available. And then also your EVA grip, it's a little bit longer than the guys with a longer reach. This is a little bit more comfortable, so the butt section, the EVA butt is a little bit longer, and then fitted with a bionic finger already, and then your Fuji grip. A new feature on the rod, and I kind of like it, and it looks really professional and really nice, is the new carbon ring at the bottom. They've replaced the stainless steel ring, and I also think that adds just a little fine touch to the rod. So the first thing when I picked these rods up, and they were still just prototypes when I first got to use them and first got to feel them, was a difference in weight from the previous Horizons. It's actually incredible that you pick the rod up and you have a 15-foot rod in your hand. It's almost like your brain cannot comprehend that you are having a 15-foot rod in your hand. It's a 15-foot rod that feels 14-foot. That comes from the technology that goes into the rod, and also how they built the rod and how the weight distribution is. These rods are not just a new blank painted differently. Assassin basically started with the research about 4 years ago, because when they launched the Horizon Zeros, they knew they are the only ones that are going to be able to improve on the Horizon Zeros, and that's just what they did. They immediately started with research, looking for new technology, and how are they going to build this into a 15-foot rod. Well, they certainly got that right. The Horizon Championship editions are by far the lightest 15-foot rods available on the market at the moment. and that is in their casting actions or in their weight class. That is the 7 to 9, 6 to 8, the 5 to 7, and the 4 to the 6. I'm going to get to the actions a little bit later. Well, how did the Assassin create such a light and incredibly strong rod in a 15 foot? Well, that is due to the Nano-X architecture. Well, to put it in short for you guys, Nano-X is cutting edge technology, and it has an incredibly advanced structure, and it comes straight from aerospace technology design. So that makes it really light and makes it really strong. And the Horizon Championship editions are the only rods currently built with a Nano-X architecture. So we have incredibly advanced technology, we have brilliant guides, we have brilliant components on the rods, but that doesn't mean that necessarily you're going to build the best rod. It takes years and years of experience to put all of that together to get a final product that we have right here. So that's a little bit about the technology of these rods. So I've been testing the Championship edition for basically a year now, especially the 7 and the 8. It's only been a month or two since I've had the 5 and the 6, but there's a big difference in the action between the previous Horizons and the new Horizons. So let's talk a little bit about the actions of the rod. There's a change in the action. There is a change in the action, definitely. It's a new blank, it's a new rod, it's a completely new rod, so the action is going to be different. You don't want to change the action of the rod too much and lose the parabolic bend and the perfect arc of the rod. So Assassin had to bear in mind that we still have to create the perfect fishing rod, and not only the perfect casting rod. It needs to be a rod that is designed for fishing and serving an all-round purpose for the competitive angler and also for your social angler. So the change in action, it's got a little bit more backbone, a little bit stiffer in the base, and it's got a softer tip for sensitivity. So to get this right, I had to use 5 different carbons placed strategically along the rod to still have a perfect arc and a parabolic bend with 0 flat spots. I don't know if you guys know what a flat spot is. Flat spot is if you have a bend in the rod and you'll see a straight line and then it will bend again. Horizon doesn't have that, the Championship doesn't have that. It's got a perfect arc and while maintaining a parabolic bend. A parabolic bend and a perfect arc allows you to put more pressure on the fish and less strain on your back, and also absorbing the head shakes of the fish and not pulling hooks and losing fish. That is really important. Well, there's 2 things really important about these rods that we need to discuss, and that is the power transfer and the weight distribution. They feel a way lot more balanced than the previous Horizons. The previous Horizons felt a little bit top heavy. These do not feel like that. The weight distribution is structured in such a way that you're holding a 15 foot rod and it feels like you're fishing with a 14 foot rod. It makes a massive difference, but some guys do underestimate the rod because of this. Because the rod feels so light, they underestimate it and they forget about the power transfer. Well, having a sensitive tip is really important to detecting fish bites, and it also gives a little whip when you cast and allowing you to cast anything from a small bait to a bigger bait. While the base section has a lot more power and a lot more backbone than the previous Horizons. So casting a big bait is really easy with a lot less effort, and it makes it perfect, especially the 5 and the 6, even the 7 for your lady anglers using the Championship editions, allowing them to get more distance with even less effort. So what casting weights and models are available? Because all of a sudden there's a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8 and then a 9, and people get all confused with how's the rating working and all of this kind of thing. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit more around that. You guys see, I've seen that the 7 and the 8 have been launched already. So the 7 would be your previous XH and the 8 would be your previous double XH. The 7 on the rod, the 7 and the 8, the numbers means that is the optimal casting weight for the rod. So the 7 would be a 6 to an 8 ounce rating, and the 8 would be 7 to a 9 ounce rating, exactly like the XH and the double XH were, and that is excluding bait, guys. So with my 7, I like to throw a 7 ounce with a slightly bigger bait and an 8 ounce with a small bait, or a 7 ounce if there's not a lot of wind. but the ideal casting weight for the 7 is a 7, the ideal casting weight for the 8 is an 8. And then I don't know if you guys have seen the videos, but the 5 and the 6 is on the way, and that makes me really excited because that fits right into my fishing style, especially on the YouTube channel. Fishing for cob, fishing for edibles, and that thing is so light it feels like you're standing with a pencil in your hand. And they're not only a pretty sight. Both the 5 and the 6 comes in 2 different colors. The 5 comes in this, I don't know what you call it. The 5 is like a copper goldish sort of color. When you hold it, just normal fishing in the daytime, they almost look like kind of black, but when you shine the light on them, they give this shimmer and they just look amazing. I'm not sure, they told me it's going to be in a light blue as well, like the previous medium heavy, but it's, like I said, a different kind of blue. It's got a shimmering on to it. And then the 6 comes in the green, like the 7 and the 8. And then also in this dark, deep blue. And yes, these rods are light. They, like I said previously in the video, they are the lightest rods currently available on the market in a 15 foot in their weight class. So I've been fishing them, I've been enjoying them. I've been using the 5 to fish for cob. I've even fished for some bluefish, bronze bream on them. They're really sensitive, and I've thrown from anything from a 4 ounce with a small chocker blob blade up to a 5 and a 6 ounce with a live mullet. And I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you guys that, but it throws it incredibly well and it handles it with ease. And the rod being so light and so sensitive, it makes it perfect for cob fishing. It's going to be, I can't wait for the winter time to use it for white stemras. It's going to be a white stemras rod of note. It's going to reach those back banks, throws really nice, really awesome. And same goes with the 6. The 6 replaces the HXL, and yeah, it's much lighter. It feels a lot more sensitive. It's a great rod for using it during leagues, fishing for cob, fishing for steenies, fishing for cracker, and for your smaller sharks and rays. And if you hook a 70-80 kilo duckbill, you're going to handle it with ease, no problems at all. So yeah guys, if you're in the market for a new rod, especially an edible rod or one rod that does it all, wait for the 5 and the 6 guys. It's really incredible rods. I love them to bits. I don't know how Assassin is going to improve on these rods, because they're next level. Once you pick them up and you feel them, they're really next level. But I have a little secret that I want to share with you guys. They gave me 2 rods to give away on this channel, and the awesome thing about that is going to be before the actual launch of the rod. So you're going to be one of 2 persons to own one of these rods before any of them are available in the retail stores. So yeah, there's going to be 1 5 and 1 6 up for grabs on Zuluk Fishing. I'm not sure of the structure of the competition at the moment, but you have to be subscribed, obviously. So hit that. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Stay tuned to the channel. Go check out my Facebook. Go check out my Instagram. My Instagram is Zander Zuluk Fishing, and then my Facebook page is Zander Zuluk Fishing, and then Zuluk Fishing. And also keep an eye out on the Assassin Anglers page. There's going to be more information regarding the competition, how you can win these rods. So you guys, you can be the first ones to fish these rods. So I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to give you guys these rods. You're going to enjoy it as much as I do. So keep an eye on all my social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, when we're going to announce how you could win these rods. Like I said, you have to be subscribed. So yeah guys, that is it. I'm going to take these babies, put them away, and like I said, if you want to win these, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to be notified once I upload a new video, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers, ciao.